let's make hot sauce. All right, we're gonna heat things up around here and we're gonna make some hot sauce. So today we are going to, for this hot sauce, we're gonna be using an Anaheim pepper. I have 2 Poblano peppers and I have 5 jalapeno peppers. And then we also have 3 garlic cloves. So this one was inspired by a young man who is struggling with some immunity issues. And so what better way to help a younger person introduce fermented foods into their life other than hot sauce, and especially for a guy, hot sauce. Most men love the spicy things. So this is where this inspiration came from, and I hope he ends up liking it. We've got these peppers. As I'm chopping them up, I'm running out of room on my cutting board here. So I'm just gonna start dropping them in there. All I did was cut them in half. So, and I also de-seeded them by taking a spoon here and just going around the inside, that you can just scoop it out. I don't know if you can see that very well. There, look at that, that was a piece of cake. All right, and then we're just gonna slide it in there. You're gonna do that with a couple of these other ones here. And also, just a little FYI, did you know that in Ayurveda medicine and Chinese medicine, that they say that there are multiple senses to taste in order to stimulate? Excuse me, those peppers are getting me in the back of the throat. Oh my. Anyways, to stimulate your digestion. Whoa, okay, before I go any further, I do want to make sure that I tell everybody, if you don't wear gloves when you're chopping your peppers, make sure, sorry, be sure you don't touch anything afterwards, including yourself. Don't touch your eyes. And even after you wash your hands multiple times, these oils are gonna stay on there. So even when you think that, oh, I've washed my hands, I can touch my eyes.
Don't do it. Don't do it, because I've done it. Learn from my mistakes. Don't make the same yourself. Because guarantee you, those oils are still on there even after multiple washings with soap. And you will burn your eyeballs. For real, you will burn your eyeballs. So don't do that. Learn from my mistakes.
Okay, anyways. So I was saying, there are, one of them says 5 and the other one says 6, and I can't remember which is which right now off the top of my head. I need to look into it a little bit further. I just happened to recently read it. But anyways, so one that they both agree on is spice. Spice helps stimulate those salivary glands in your mouth to start secreting the enzymes needed for digestion, and also stimulate the juices in your stomach to help your digestion. So this is a win-win, because you are stimulating your salivary glands and your digestion. And not only that, you're feeding yourself some good, healthy probiotics at the same time. Another thing too is that peppers are loaded with vitamin C, and all fermented foods, because of the process that it goes under, it increases the availability of the vitamin C and increases the amount of vitamin C that is available in the ferments. So healthy and so good for you. And they also say that spicy foods are good for warding off viruses and colds and the flu, all that stuff. So you're doing yourself a lot of favors by eating fermented foods, and especially the ones that have a little bit of spice, like kimchi. Everybody loves kimchi and raves about kimchi. I'm looking forward to trying that one. I still haven't done it yet, but that's coming in the future. I can't wait to try it. So, but it also has, peppers have lots of enzymes in them too to help you. All right, my jar is getting very, very full. So I'm gonna have to really be creative here. so I can squeeze the rest of this in here. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna squeeze all these peppers in here. This is a really short ferment. This is only gonna ferment for 3 days. And then after 3 days, you're gonna take it, put it in a blender, blend it up really good so that it's like a sauce. And then you're gonna pour it into a jar of some sort and store it in your refrigerator. And then you have fermented hot sauce that you can enjoy for days, months, however long. And you can do so much with it. You can put it on scrambled eggs, you can put it on chicken, you could put it on vegetables, you can make dip with it, you can put it on cream cheese, you can do so many different things. My son loves to put hot sauce on his eggs. And then he also loves buffalo wings too, which are spicy. But as far as like hot sauce condiment, he loves to put it on his eggs. So I have all my peppers mashed in here. Now I have my 3 garlic cloves. I'm going to put those in here. I'm gonna have to really push to get these down in there. Okay, there we go. Now I went ahead and created my brine ahead of time. And the brine is 2 cups of water to ½ tablespoon of sea salt. Today I chose pink. I just feel pink today. So no particular reason why I chose pink, I just chose pink. You can use pink, you can use Celtic. As long as it's a sea salt and it's not iodized, you can use it. So, all right, so I went ahead and I prepared that ahead of time so it had time to cool off. And now I'm gonna pour this over the peppers. And the purpose of the salt brine is it helps keep the bad bacteria and the pathogenic yeasts away in order to let the lactobacilli guys take over. So in the beginning, it's crucial that they have that brine so that the lactobacilli guys, man, that's a tongue twister for me, have time to replicate and start fermenting and be able to take over and make a colony out of your jar. All right, so now I need to push everything down below the level of the brine, and I'm gonna have to get in here and use my fist. I also want to push the bubbles out, which I think are mostly out. These peppers are making my nose run. All right, this might be a good one to make if you're sick and you're feeling under the weather. I know we don't feel like doing anything when we feel like that, but it might be beneficial because it's gonna open your nose up because it just opened my nose. All right, everybody knows I love to use cabbage leaves as my weight to submerge through the vegetables below the brine. So again, I just have some leftover outer cabbage leaves. I'm gonna use that to help push everything down below the level of the brine. Sorry. And that is full. Okay, that's all right though. Oh goodness. Really open up the sinuses. I can't wait until I blend it. It's gonna be good. All right, so again, you wanna use your airlock system. So here's the seal. Gonna put that in the jar there. Screw on the cap. Oops, there we go. So now this one, just a reminder, this one only takes 2 to 3 days. I'm gonna let mine ferment 3 days, and at the end of 3 days, you can take it and you take the brine and everything. Take your cabbage leaves out and discard the cabbage leaves. You don't want that in there. And then you're gonna pour it into a blender and you're just going to blend it into a sauce. You might, well, actually, now that I think about it, maybe drain off your brine into a separate container, blend your sauce, and if your sauce is too thick, then you can add some of that brine back in. If it's, because you know, if it's too thin, there's nothing you can do. So that way, if you don't like the consistency, you can always add some of that brine back in. Don't throw it away though. That brine has all the healthy bacteria in it also, and those are good for you, and you can use it as gut shots if you don't want to use it in your sauce. I know it'd be spicy, but you could just drink a tiny bit at a time if you're sick. So, or you can combine it with some kraut juice or pickle juice and make your own gut shots. You can be as creative as you want with this stuff, and that's why it's so much fun. I love being creative, and I love food, and I love food that's good for you. And this is very, very healthy. Lots of beneficial bacteria in it, and lots of goodness for your gut. All right, so I ran out of brine to fill my airlock system with, but that's okay, because this airlock doesn't have to have brine in it. I'm just gonna use a little bit of filtered water to fill it up to where I need it to be. And it doesn't have to be, it has to be brine in the container. In the airlock system, it does not have to be brine, it just has to be some water. Filtered water though, just to be on the safe side. And then you're gonna cap it and you're gonna set it aside for 3 days. One other thing about when you're fermenting anything, whether it's kraut, peppers, water kefir, kombucha jun, any of those things, you want to make sure that it is not in direct sunlight. So make sure that you just put it in a corner of your kitchen that doesn't get direct sunlight, or you can put it somewhere else. You can even put it in the basement if you want to. A lot of people, that's where they make their cabbage, especially when they're making it in big crocks, is they put it in the basement so that it's out of the way. And it's also a cooler environment. The other thing I wanted to mention is sometimes these things get really crazy and really active when they're doing their thing because they're so happy, and they're just busy working in there, fermenting those sugars and eating and multiplying and making families in there. Is sometimes that when it starts expelling the air out of here, it can start to bubble out the top and start to drain down the side of your jar. So what I do with mine is I usually set my jars inside another pan or a jar or something like that, just to make sure that if it does start to ferment out that liquid, that it's not running all over my counter. So just heads up for that one. And all right, hot sauce. I hope you guys give this one a try. I hope you like it. If you have any questions or feedback, I'm always anxious to hear them. So I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Happy fermenting.